There are all these probiotic supplements claiming to help with speeding up metabolism. You may have heard about the so-called next-gen probiotics, like glucose control or metabolic daily. Which probiotic supplements are really worth the money and how do they work? Probiotics are live bacteria that you take as a supplement or in food, and they are meant to replenish your healthy bacteria in your gut. The term microbiome refers to all the organisms that live in or on our body, which is a lot. The gut microbiome is now known to play a huge role in metabolic health, which is why probiotics are being marketed to people looking to lose weight or improve their metabolism. Probiotics contain different types and amounts of bacteria. Most probiotics contain species from genera Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium, and also contain a yeast called Saccharomyces. These bacteria can survive stomach acid. Not many bacteria typically live in the stomach, because that's where acid breaks down food, but it's also where acid kills harmful bacteria. The bacteria found in these conventional probiotics, however, can mostly survive that acid and then get to the small intestine, which is where they help the small intestine with its main function, nutrient absorption. Interestingly, they also make vitamins and crowd out any harmful bacteria to prevent overgrowth, SIBO. The bacteria in conventional probiotics can also get to and thrive in the large intestine. The role of the large intestine is to reabsorb water to make our stool solid, but more importantly for metabolism, this is where fiber, which is undigested plant material in your diet, is fermented into beneficial substances. I call these beneficial substances magic molecules because it's easier to remember than short-chain fatty acids, acetate, butyrate, and propionate. Most of the conventional probiotics that we take, however, contain only a few species involved with making these magic molecules. Another important point is that bacteria in most probiotics can live in the presence of oxygen and also survive without oxygen, which makes them easy to culture. They're found in fermented foods and supplements. They can be helpful in relieving gut symptoms, but they have not really been found to significantly impact metabolism. The next-gen probiotics are showing promise in impacting metabolism. Unlike conventional probiotics, these probiotics also contain bacteria that live exclusively in the large intestine and improve our metabolic health. The standout species when it comes to metabolic health is Akkermansia mucinophila. It is unique for several reasons. The first is that it resides in a mucin layer of the gut and eats the mucin. Mucin is important because without it, the gut is leaky, and harmful substances can enter the body and cause inflammation and metabolic issues like insulin resistance. By eating mucin, this bacteria causes cells to make more of it, and this is essential. Akkermansia also stimulates the production of GLP-1, which is a hormone involved in reducing food cravings, promoting fullness, and improving metabolic health. GLP-1 is the same molecule found in the revolutionary medications for obesity and type 2 diabetes. Akkermansia also makes substances that help other large intestinal bacteria. Are you ready for these names? Clostridium butyricum, Clostridium bajerinki, Bifidobacterium infantis, and Anaerobutyricum hallei. They ferment fiber to make magic molecules. Just a side note about fiber. If you don't have fiber in your diet, none of this stuff works. None of those magic molecules get made. Bacteria need the fiber to live, or they die. Fiber is a type of carbohydrate that is in plant-based foods. Unlike other carbohydrates that break down into sugar molecules and are absorbed in the small intestine, fiber passes through your gut mostly intact. I have a whole separate talk on fiber. Why don't more probiotics contain these bacteria if they're so awesome? They stimulate GLP-1, they prevent and treat leaky gut, they lower inflammation and improve metabolism. So what's the issue? Well, here's the issue. Akkermansia in particular is extremely challenging to cultivate and get into a probiotic that will survive the oxygenated environment of the stomach and small intestine to reach the place where they will thrive in the large intestine. It also needs mucin to grow. A San Francisco startup called Pendulum developed a probiotic, which contains freeze-dried bacteria that are encapsulated to allow them to survive the journey through the digestive system. This probiotic also contains 4 other magic molecule-producing bacteria. This formula is called glucose control. This has been shown to significantly lower blood sugars in adults with type 2 diabetes, likely due to its effect on GLP-1 production. This company's other product, called Metabolic Daily, contains the same ingredients but just in lower amounts. These probiotics need to be refrigerated and are really expensive to produce, which makes them more expensive to purchase. But they appear to be the best, perhaps only, probiotic for significantly impacting metabolism, leaky gut, and GLP-1 production, which affects food cravings and gut motility. Don't be fooled. There are other supplements that state that they contain live Akkermansia, but given the $40 million and 10 years it took for Pendulum to produce their product, it is very unlikely that these other supplements have a product that actually delivers live Akkermansia to the large intestine. Supplements are not regulated and can claim that they contain ingredients or that they provide benefits that they don't. There are supplements that claim to contain the magic molecules themselves, the short-chain fatty acids. However, there have not been human studies that show you can administer these and have the same benefit. They need to be produced by the bacteria in the gut. There are also supplements that claim to boost GLP-1 with precursors. Precursors are called prebiotics. They are also expensive. It's probably better to use a probiotic that has been shown in studies to actually boost GLP-1 and eat the proper fiber in your diet. Lastly, people who may benefit from the pendulum supplements include anyone with signs of leaky gut, people who have food cravings but do not have access to or do not want to start one of the GLP-1 agonist medicines, and people weaning off the GLP-1 medications if they're at a place that they want to stay but don't want to stay on the GLP-1. In the research, adult subjects were given very high doses of these probiotics to see if there were any negative effects, and there were no safety concerns. More studies are coming out and hopefully will be published within the next few years. Ask your doctor if there are any concerns prior to taking any supplements.